Hello and welcome to another Furniture Painters Unite UK Spotlight members interview. And today we have the lovely Heike Morrow from Heike's Furniture Art. She's an amazing artist and we're quite lucky. We want to get to know a little bit more about Heike and her journey. Hi Heike.
Hi Elena. Hi.
Thanks for joining. Where in the world are you today, Heike?
Today I'm in Switzerland.
Oh,
Not in
lovely.
Malta. Yes, for once I'm in Switzerland. It's cold. It's beautiful weather, but it's very cold. But that's the season.
So well, that's amazing that you are based in Switzerland, but you run both your businesses from Malta, and from Switzerland. So where we're all struggling to run it from one location, there you are running the same business from two locations, which is fantastic. So for anyone who doesn't know you, could you do an introduction, please, Heike?
Yes. So my name is Heike. Like the name says, it's not an English name. I am German originally. I come from Bavaria. And when I was 11, my father said, we're going to leave Germany. He was already in Malta. We went to Malta, to this beautiful Mediterranean island. So I left the country with 11. And when I was 16 and a half, my father said, we're going to leave Malta. And that was very, very hard for me because, you're a teenager, you've got your first boyfriend, the clique is so important.
Yeah.
And when I came to Switzerland, I really didn't like it, and I said, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going back to Malta as soon as I finish school. And it's been over 40 years that I'm in Switzerland now. So
Well, I'm sure
my hobby is
I'm sure going from the Mediterranean to the complete
yes,
opposite of
exactly.
the Alps.
Mountains on the right, on the left, in the front, and in the back. So
And
where I live, it's a
snow,
valley.
snow everywhere, snow, snow, snow. So
That's right.
how did you start painting furniture? When did that all start?
In fact, it started quite early because my husband, he reminded me that when we built our house here, and that's 26 years ago in Switzerland. I don't know, it just started off in France. They did these frottage on the
Yeah.
walls and they had the stenciling, the
Yes.
borders, and I found that so beautiful, and I just couldn't find it in Switzerland. And so I said, okay, I'll do it myself. And then when we built the house, it was I asked the painters to do the colors on the walls
Sorry, I'm just gonna
because
close this door. Can you?
yes.
Animals never work with animals. Oh,
If it's not the kids, it's the dogs.
dog.
So, in fact, I asked the painters to paint the walls instead of white, to paint them in a color. And
Yeah.
they said, no way, you don't do color on a wall. They have to be white. I said, what? And I told my husband, okay, let them paint them white and I'd go back and I'd paint them in color. So we had every room had another color. And in fact, this is a bit how I started. But then in kind of it went, I didn't do anything because I had I was in corporate life for years and years and years. And then we bought a house in Malta because we went back all the time. I've been
Yeah.
going back since I left. And my husband and I said, well, maybe it's good to buy a house, get something, a flat or a house, so we don't always pay the hotel and so on, and we can stay longer, etc. And out of budget reasons, I started repainting, or I restarted painting, meaning we couldn't afford having a new kitchen. So I said, okay, I'll paint the kitchen. I hated the bathroom tiles. I really didn't like them. So I said, okay, there are so many nice products on the market now.
Yeah.
I'm going to paint the bathroom tiles. And that's what I did. And then I needed some furniture. And I went to charity shops or to the flea market, to the car boot sales. And I started painting that. And friends started asking me, can you do something for me? And I said, okay. But at that time, I was still painting. Not like today, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's a very different
One
paint
color.
style. It was a bit of a one color thing,
A
or
little
maybe
bit of
two colors.
little sand back.
Distressed, exactly, like the shabby chic thing,
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I think a lot of us started with that style, which was so popular. It was, and
Absolutely.
I think styles come back, and sometimes I think that's going to come back soon.
I'm sure it
Yeah.
will, because it's a nice style. But
Yeah.
and it was okay in those days. That's about 6 years ago when we got the house. And at that point, I said, okay, I'll do it like that. And my friends, the way I paint today is not to everybody's taste. So, I always try to paint in a way that Maltese people liked as well. But
Yeah.
I wasn't happy with it
No.
because I couldn't do the thing that I really felt like doing. And back home in Switzerland at that moment, I wasn't painting because I was working all day. I had a very, very busy
So
corporate
you
life.
were only painting when you got to Malta for your holidays, really?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
right. So my holiday was, being creative and enjoying it was my happy
Yeah.
place, I always said.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a slogan. What's your slogan? Art
What's my
is
feeds your soul?
art feeds your soul, and I think that's
Yes.
probably coming from then, because you know what it's like to not have the time every day to be creative, and
Yes.
when you're not allowed or you don't have the time to be creative, then you start to want it and you miss it, and um
It starts tickling in your fingers, saying,
yeah,
what could I paint? And even if it's just a frame, or if it's just, I don't know, something small. And I
yeah.
used to do that, smaller things, because at one point the house was full with furniture. I couldn't have any more. And so, it was the little things that I
Oh,
used to
what
do. But
too?
still the same, hasn't changed. My husband wanted it minimalistic. And I said, oh my God, poor guy. He didn't get minimalistic from
No,
me.
he's definitely maximalistic. Maximum.
Absolutely, absolutely. He tells me, you're so chaotic and you've got so many things. And I said, I
But you're
know,
so
I'm a product
happy.
hoarder. Yeah, I'm happy. And I'm telling you, I'm a product hoarder. When I open my cupboard, when I start a new project and I open my cupboard and I go, what could I use? Wah! And I just take out the things, and I have
Yeah.
everything, whenever I see something that's interesting, like with you, there are so many nice products on the market
Isn't
at the
there?
moment.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
just looking at my product stash over there saying, yes, I know exactly. I know exactly what you mean. Um, yeah, your style. So your style then was shabby chic, and it has developed now into its own being. Um,
Yes, let me know what kind of words would you put on my style? I have no
I'm trying to
idea.
put into words what describe Heike style. It is
It's
it
very
is
weathered.
bold. It is
It's
bold.
that.
It is texture. It is tactile. You can do that old world patina look. I mean, amazingly well. Your blending is
That's sweet. Thank
fantastic,
you.
and I think there's just so much to your style. I know the process. Um, so when I look at your pieces, I know all the different layers to that, all the different processes, and that takes a lot of time and a lot of
Oh,
work and a
yes.
lot of expertise, to get it right. So how did you find? Did you just sort of slide into your own style, or did you one day say that's my style, that's what I want to do?
Nope. In fact, I took a workshop in England. I went to England and took a workshop there. And it was, the name of the workshop was Out of a Barn.
Right?
And I did this chair then, and the teacher, she told me, or the coach, she said, Heike, this is your style. This is what you have to do. There was a 2 days workshop. One was Chateau Chic, Chateau
Yeah.
French Chic, and the other one was Out of the Barn. And I went back to learn more about this rustic style because I just was so inspired by the person
Yeah.
who did that. And she told me, Heike, don't do those flat finishes. That's not for you. And it's true. I'm not happy doing flat finishes. I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot. I just can't do flat finishes.
Yeah.
I try, but I can't. And
Yeah, it's what makes you happy. And if it doesn't make you
yes,
happy, then you're
absolutely.
not happy to put it out there,
No,
put your name on
no,
it.
no.
Yeah,
I think you have to be convinced of what you're doing if you want to,
yeah,
if people, they ask you and you talk about, they have to hear the passion that you have.
that's it.
And I am so glad this person, her name is Karen. Karen, she told me, you have to go, in the rustic style. And I said, okay, I'll try. And she said, no, you don't have to try. It's in there. You have it. And I went from there, and I evolved. You know, I developed the style with all the products that you have. I already said
Yeah.
that. And this is me. This is me. I'm just working on this piece now. I
Yeah,
cleaned my
that's
workshop just for the interview. Just for the interview, I cleaned my workshop. Yes, there's nothing here.
big for everyone. So this is so yes, you do the like old world charm, but you bring a lot of color, a lot of bright color into it.
Yeah.
And that piece, talk us through that piece behind you that you're working on. It's beautiful. I
Yeah.
see, I see
So this
a lot
is
of
so this in
derriere.
fact so this is a paper, this decoupage
Oh, is
paper,
it?
and I found that at the moment.
Who made the paper?
So this is bubblegum yum for who I
Oh,
am. I design artisan, they call it. It's nice, nice title.
it is a nice
And
title.
and this is Anissa Marie who paints. So the difference with the decoupage papers, because I am also brand ambassador for Mint by Michelle decoupage papers and her
Yes.
products, and I love the papers. They're outstanding quality, and I really love using them. And this is a bit of my specialty at the moment. This may be the development that I made, using these papers and blend them into the pieces so they
Yeah.
look as though it's hand painted.
Yes.
And now I am not long ago the announcement was made that I'm with the bubblegum yum prints as well. And the difference to the normal decoupage papers or to Mint by Michelle papers is that these are artists that paint canvases, and those canvases are transformed into decoupage
Ah,
papers. And
yeah. Oh,
that's
fantastic.
and I find that really nice, because
So,
you know they
yeah, you
they
met
get, it's not just one canvas that they have, but they get the recognition,
that's
and
their artwork.
we get
Yeah,
the possibility to use
yeah,
those images, not the images,
artwork, artwork.
the artwork
Yeah.
on a piece of furniture. And this
Yeah,
is
is that the same Anissa Marie who does the Daydream Apothecary paints?
yes, exactly.
Fantastic. I see.
So
I did.
she's got the neon. She's got the neon
Yes, I
paints.
have her
It's
neon. I love her neons.
yes,
I did.
yes.
What did I
They're
do?
really
A
bright.
hummingbird. The hummingbird with her neons, and
Yes.
I'm actually doing two bedside cabinets at the minute with her neons. So that's very good, because I wasn't aware that bubblegum yum that's who it was. I have
Yes.
seen you did a bubblegum yum piece, the girl blowing the chewing gum bubble.
Yes. I did that one. Yes. That was my first one.
That was fantastic. Loved it. But I
Yes.
didn't actually realize that was who it was. And I didn't know that this was their original artwork that they're now
Yes.
making into decoupage
Decoupage
papers
paper.
to share with us.
Absolutely.
And that's fantastic, because she is an amazing artist. I seen her Dolly Parton
Absolutely.
portrait.
Yes. Oh my
And
gosh.
as soon as I
And she's
seen it,
got
I
another one
knew.
coming up. Oof.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was Dolly Parton, and I was like, "Oh, that's brilliant!" But I didn't realize. So there you go.
Yes.
I've learned something. I didn't realize it was the same person.
Yes.
And so congratulations on that. That's very
Thank
exciting.
you.
That's very
Thank
exciting
you. Yes.
partnership, because you, with your old world style, doing
With
these
the
bright,
that then grungy, with the grungy style, very
grungy,
grungy.
grungy, doing these bright colors. I can't wait. Fantastic. And then you touched
Yes.
on Mint by Michelle as well. As you are a brand ambassador for Mint by Michelle,
Love her
because
papers too.
and your pieces using her papers are just, every single piece is a triumph. I think I've said that to you on your posts. And the more recent ones you did was Nana's Pearls on a chair and Highwire on a chair, and they
Yes.
are exquisite. So if anyone watching this hasn't seen them, you need to go to Heike's page and check out her chairs, because chairs sometimes do get forgotten about, don't they, really?
Yeah.
You know, people, we concentrate on dressing tables and pieces of furniture, and sometimes the
Yes.
chairs, you know, the architecture and their style gets a little bit lost, and what you do with them is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. Thanks.
So what plans do you have going forward? So you're still going between Switzerland and
Yes.
Malta, and do you see a big difference well, there would be a big difference in your customers in the two areas? Or
So let's put it this way, that Malta was, the English were there,
Yeah,
and I'd say there's still a bit of the English style and the soft furnishing style, either very
yeah,
modern, like Italian, because they're very close to Italy,
yes.
the Italian style, which is very popular. The English style still the shabby chic style, very
Was it
popular.
still, yeah, very good.
Yes.
I might
And
move
for
to Malta.
me, now you have to come again. I said, everybody's saying, oh, I'd like to come to Malta. And I said, I think I have to organize a retreat in Malta. And we get
Okay.
all those people and we have a paint party over there.
Yes, I think you can call it retreat, but I don't think it will be a retreat.
No, I mean, we have to find a name, a sober name.
Yes.
But anyway, so I do have my clients. It's my niche is smaller than other niches,
Yeah.
because it's not a flat finish. It's very colorful. It doesn't work with every interior and even the weathered style. So there is a bit of a difference of clients. And even here in Switzerland, I live in a region of mountains, and
Mhm.
obviously, whenever I do a piece with a cow, that's good.
Yeah.
Boom, flies out of the house, and there's the other pieces that I have quite a few clients, but in the German part of Switzerland, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
funny. That's really awkward. So I deliver over there. So the
Yeah,
niche is there, but
I was
it's
going to
not
ask,
easy.
are there couriers? No. Do you have to do everything yourself?
Switzerland is
Uh,
extreme. Whenever I look at my colleagues like you, and you talk, we talk about prices, obviously. Do you have a career who can deliver something? And when I see your prices, I'm just then I say, bah, because because here it's just, I mean, I try to get some quotes, and they are
yeah.
just as expensive as my furniture. So I can't.
Yeah.
So whenever it's possible, we deliver ourselves. Obviously, we ask some money for it,
Yeah.
because there's the car,
Yeah,
there's the
there's the
traveling,
cost
there's
of
the
it. Yeah.
hours, etc.
Yeah.
But we have to do it like this for the moment, at least. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll find one which is
Yeah.
not as expensive, but Switzerland is expensive for that.
Well, I think here we seem that we have an industry here.
Yes,
So there's lots of people
yes,
in the industry here. So because of that, then the couriers come because there is a market and there is a need for them.
absolutely. Yes.
What is it like in Switzerland? Is there a large community of furniture artists, or is it very small? I know some places in the world there are some, but they don't. Because the competition's fierce, let's say, because there's so
Mhm.
few of them and so few customers, the competition's very fierce, and there wouldn't be a lot of camaraderie ship, if that
Yes.
makes sense. So I'm just wondering what
Mhm.
it's like in Switzerland. Is that the case, or is it
Mm.
just yourself?
No, there are. But obviously it's as you're saying, England has always been, in the front for these kind of things, and Switzerland is just catching up. So we do get a few. I live in the French part of Switzerland, so over here there aren't a lot. There are very
Okay.
little. In the Swiss German part, there are quite a few. In the Italian part, I don't know. But over here where I live, in my region, there are I know two people
All
here.
right. Okay.
And then further down to the French part, going direction Geneva, there are a few as well, but it's not like in England. And I think that's the difference, as you were saying,
Yeah.
that you don't have people or couriers that, say, okay, there's a business to make, and we
Yeah.
go and do the shipping. I don't think it would they wouldn't make a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Yeah. Because here there's more and more and more couriers. There's starting up
Yes.
because I think they're realizing, oh, that there's a lot of there's thousands of furniture
Mhm.
painters selling thousands of
Yes.
pieces every day that need shipped all around the UK. So yeah, I was just wondering about that side of it for you. If it was difficult after you do all this beautiful work and spend all this time creating a piece, and then, you know, is there a market to sell it, and then how do you get it to the person? So those are questions that I had wondered about. I think we're quite spoilt here. We're quite
Yes, I think
fortunate,
so too.
quite,
I think
quite
so
lucky.
too. I think
And then
Switzerland is.
Is that the same in Malta, or is Malta, because it's just Malta? Is it easier to sell and to ship in and around Malta?
Malta is so small, Helena. It's 30 kilometers
Yeah.
long and 15 large. So there are quite a few people who do transports, but I had very bad experiences. That the piece arrives and there are no more legs on the drinks cabinet because they drove like mad or whatever they did, I don't
Yeah.
know. So generally, I don't have a workshop. I work from home. This was my daughter's bedroom before. And so I generally tell people to come and come to the house
Yeah.
and check, see the pieces they would like to see, or go around. I take them around if there is something else they would like to know, because then I try to put my pieces and live with them. I have this
Yeah.
one piece, and whenever I look at it, I said, I hope it doesn't sell. I hope it doesn't sell, because I love it so much.
Yes,
And
I
even my
have,
husband,
yeah.
and even my husband, he loves it so much. He said, don't make any publicity. It's okay, And
I kept one piece. I've kept one piece for myself. That was milk painted, but I have another piece right here beside me that I'm going to find very hard to give up. But we just can't keep everything. Sure, we can't. We just
That's true. That's true.
I can't afford to keep my own stuff.
Yes, I know. But again, Malta is so small, and there are a few furniture painters as well.
All
It's
right.
picking
Okay.
up. There was one big company which was with the monopole, and now, do you say monopole in English? It was focused. This company was the company that everybody knew, everybody went to for the shabby chic style,
All right. Okay.
for furniture painting and so on. And then slowly but surely other people came in, and it's picking up as well over there. And people, they like to do workshops to learn from them for themselves as well.
Yeah, I saw you were doing workshops. Was that in Malta or was that in Switzerland?
Both
Both.
both
Oh, that's
places as well.
fantastic. So,
So Malta was a bit difficult. I had quite a few clients, and because of COVID, it was difficult to organize.
yeah,
And when I'm in Malta, I like to do it outside because the paint dries quicker, and I'm not there all the time. So, it's a bit
yeah,
more difficult. And I started here in Switzerland, where I give workshops in, it's not a company, but it's an adult education institution,
yeah,
where you have different things.
yes,
And I give workshops, or I do workshops from home. But I only do workshops for 1 or 2 persons, because I just don't have the place for more.
yeah,
But they get everything. So people who come to my workshops, they can use the papers, they can use all the
oh,
paint that
yeah,
I have. So it's not just, I'm not just showing how to prime your piece, or, the beginners
yeah,
things, but I put them in it immediately. They, this is what we're going to do. Okay, we prepare and everything, that's important, but then it's my style, and I show them what I do. We
yeah,
try things out. And I think that's a bit of maybe a bit of difference than just
yeah,
putting 1 coat or 2 coats of paint on a piece. And
yes, yeah.
people ask a lot,
So
going to
they learn how to
workshops.
do your texture, and they learn how to,
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. That's
Or
great.
blend the paper. They want to put paper on. I'm having next week, I'm having somebody, and she wants to do some cow paper. So we're going to work on a piece and going to put the paper on, and then do the
And
blending and the
yeah.
texturizing and everything. Yes.
Oh, very good. That's great. So then, and then they get to take this home, obviously, and then they get,
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's brilliant. And is that what I know that you don't like to plan for years in advance. But is that your sort of your future plans for now, is to build up? Because I could very much see you as a teacher in a teaching role, because you have just so many. You have so many. I know. I love you. You have so many skills. You're so
sweet.
you have so much knowledge of the. I think what sets you apart is your knowledge of products. you know all the products, because you said you hoard them. And when you do that and you get all the new products as they come out, so the patinas, the texture mediums, the paints, the chalk paints, all the new paints, the new papers. And I think that sets you in a very unique position where you could actually be an amazing teacher in the industry.
And you know what? I didn't say that, but in my corporate life, I was a teacher.
No, were you?
I was teaching management topics. So, I did seminars and in-house trainings.
I never knew that.
Yes, I know, I don't say that much. And I loved doing that. I love to give my knowledge to other people. And, people always ask me, can you do online workshops? And for me, that's a very difficult thing. And you know why? Because the pressure of a brush, I can't show it online, how to do it exactly, or that sometimes the brush, you just turn it slightly. You just say it, but if I have somebody near me and I can take their hand, or they put their hand on my hand to feel how I do it, it's so different. And I love being with people. And I'm going to be 60 this year, so I wasn't supposed to be on a, yes. Yes.
When is that? When is the birthday?
That will be in May. So it's not long to go. And I always told my husband I'd like to take my pension at 58. And my husband said, that's a bit early, because we have to get some money in, and etc. For the pension, etc. And then came COVID. And the thing was, and that's also something which has a link with me not really being happy giving online workshops, because all my clients, they were changing from trainings on site to virtual trainings. And if I have a difficult discussion to have with an employee, I can't tell them on the camera how to do it. I like being there with them, doing our communication skills, these kind of things.
Yeah, but I think our work is very tactile. It's all about the feel, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's all about the feel of things. And even when you watch painters paint, I'm trying to think. So if you're watching Brandy, Brush by Brandy, and you're watching her blend, and then you try it.
So easy. It looks so easy.
And I think that's why people, because it's the touch. It's not the paints. It's the touch. It's the stroke.
It's how you do it, exactly.
Yeah, try to drag a little bit of paint and across into different. So I think you're absolutely right. And you don't want the quality to be lessened in any form, that people could say, "Oh, I took an online workshop and it was not very good," because I was really like, and that was not what I thought it would be, or something. I think you're right. And I think also because you've got all the products in your house, how could you really deliver on virtual? Are you going to send them 30 different pots of different so I think you made the right decision. I think you made the right decision not to even try to.
I just wanted because of those workshops then, and then like the virtual and the on-site and so on. And as my clients before in my corporate life, they all went virtual, I was at home. And of a sudden, there wasn't any, until everything was organized, there weren't any trainings being delivered. So I was at home and I said, okay, so I'm going to do what I love to do. So my hobby, etc. And in fact, my husband, he said, I think you're the only person I know in the whole world who is organizing a pandemic to be on her pension with 58. Because with 58, then I was on a pension because I didn't have any more job because of COVID. And it was only January last year, the 1st of January, that I registered as an independent decorative furniture painter. So it's only really a year that officially I am an independent person, doing the things that I do. So it hasn't been so long. So
COVID has been great for us furniture artists, because like you said, when you say, I've got all this time on my hands, what am I going to do? But then it
Exactly.
also let people see what it is, because it is hard to do it as a business, because it's
It
so
is.
unpredictable. You're not
It
guaranteed
is.
any sales. You're not guaranteed any income. If
Absolutely.
you get ill, because I had COVID last week, if you get ill, there's nobody
Nope.
to continue your work. Or so I think it was great to that first year was like a trial run where people gave it a go and then thought, no, that's not for me. And then other people give it a go and thought, oh, why didn't I do this years ago?
True.
So yeah, I think it has been very good for that. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go.
Yes.
Is there anything? I think we've covered everything so far. Plans for the future? You just go with the flow.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah,
going to do. That's
brilliant.
what I'm going to do.
That's
My
fantastic.
plan is being a grandma, which is very present for the grandchildren,
And
because
that is,
I'm newly grandma, and I'm so
oh,
happy. I love
that
little
is
bits, my little
just, that's
grandchild.
lovely.
Yes.
I don't
But
have
thank
any
you very
grandchildren.
much. Not yet, not yet,
Not yet.
Helena. Will come.
My eldest is 27, and I keep trying
Yeah.
to give him the nudge, but no.
No,
So
doesn't work like that. I tried. It comes
no,
when it has to come, I think. That's what they say.
um,
But Helena, can I just say, because I haven't said that yet, thank you so much for having me here
oh
and
no,
doing that
thank you for
interview.
doing this. Thank you.
I feel very honored and blessed, and especially being interviewed by you.
Oh well, I'm
Because
a big
you're such
fan.
a sweet lady, you're such a kind soul, and
I'm such a
I
big
really appreciate you.
I'm a huge fan of your work, always have been, and I'm just
Thank
delighted.
you.
I'm absolutely delighted. I'm buzzing for you. So many good things are happening for you, and it is well deserved. And
Thank
I
you.
can't wait. I just can't wait to see all these new pieces that are coming out with these neons and grungy neons. Fantastic, fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, well, so this is going to be on Furniture Painters Unite and on YouTube, and I will have all your socials attached. So everyone watching
Thank
this,
you.
please go follow Heike, go check out all her amazing work, and be inspired to add texture um, and depth to your
Exactly.
to all your furniture, and think of Heike when you're doing it. So thanks, Heike. Big
Thank you
love.
very much. Bye bye, everybody. But wait a minute. Here we go. Here we go.
Bye.